In this video, I'm going to be showing you a brand new boutique Blu-ray label that I am adding to my own personal collection. They are not a new label, they're just new to me. And I'm talking about Umbrella Entertainment. And I have 6 releases here. I've had these in my collection for a few months now, I just haven't gotten around to making this video, but now is the perfect opportunity. So let's get looking at the 6 films that I have bought from Umbrella over in Australia. The first one I want to show you is one of my favourite films from the 80s. It's Possession from Polish filmmaker Andrzej Solawski. Now I'm having to hold this box in a particular manner because there is some nudity on the front cover, the famous poster for Possession. And if I remove my fingers from here, I'll probably get this video taken down from YouTube, or at least flagged, and people will have to sign in to prove they're over 18. So I'm not going to do that anyway. Possession is a film all about paranoia. It follows this young married couple, played by Sam Neill and Isabella Adjani. The couple, who live in Berlin, are going through some marital troubles, and the hero of the piece, played by Sam Neill, wants to fix his marriage and get things back to normal. But there's definitely some strange things going on in this film, and he believes that his wife is not up to her usual self, let's put it that way. I got this one from Umbrella because I currently don't have the Blu-ray that was available in the UK but is now out of print. That was available from Second Sight, but yeah, it's out of print, so you can't pick it up anymore. So I decided to get this Region B release from Umbrella. There's multiple commentaries on here, there are featurettes, there's interviews, there's a ton of extra stuff on here. And it is in this great slipcover, which I would show you more of, but again, I can't because of the image on the front of the cover. It's part of the Beyond Genres line from Umbrella, which are numbered as well. This is volume 11. I'm sure some people will want to collect all of the spine numbers, but for now, I'm happy with this disc of Possession. Saying that, I do have another disc from that Beyond Genres line from Umbrella. It's this one, The Cook, the Thief, His Wife and Her Lover. This film is from the great director Peter Greenaway, who I have a ton of his films in my own personal collection. This one I didn't own, and that's because this film has had quite a troubled history on home media, and even on this disc it does not look great. The current state of this film is nowhere near as good as it could look. So there is a Blu-ray available in the UK, but I recommend people do not buy that Blu-ray because it looks terrible. It's because there hasn't been a new master of this movie since the early DVD era, I believe. So it's in real need of a restoration or a remaster. But this disc also is from that dated master, so you're not going to get, brilliant picture quality out of this. It's certainly watchable on this disc, but that's about all I can say for the actual quality of the film, which is a real shame because the film is so bizarre, so unique. The film itself centers around this restaurant where there is this tyrannical restaurant owner played by Michael Gambon, and his wife, played by Helen Mirren, is having an affair with one of the patrons of the restaurant. So there's so many different characters in this movie, and the interactions are just, hysterical at times. It's all in one setting, and it's very colourful, very extreme, but it is absolutely very well done by Greenaway. On the disc itself, there's a documentary about Peter Greenaway, which is a great extra that I hadn't seen before. So that's all there is on the disc. Again, not the greatest presentation of the movie, but it's the best we have for now. So until we get that 4K restoration, I'm sticking with this disc, and I'm happy to have the film in my collection. Next up from Umbrella is Miami Connection. Now this is one of those cult classic movies that has garnered such a rabid fan base over the years, through the VHS era and now the DVD and Blu-ray era. And it's one of those movies that was perhaps made quite seriously at the time by the filmmakers, but has taken on a new level of campness. And it's one of those that people will refer to as being so bad it's good, etc. It is a fun film, lots of crazy stuff, ninjas, there's some really strange musical performances in this film, but I can see why people love this one so much. I watched this one on my own, in my own living room, After a long day, I was very tired, and it just didn't do it for me whatsoever. However, I think that's because of the situation that I was watching it in. I'd had a long day, and I think watching it on your own is never going to be as good as watching it with a crowd of people, with your family and friends to all laugh at and stuff like that. With these kind of films, the laughter tends to be infectious. So when you hear other people in your party laughing, it really can get you going. My first experience with Miami Connection was not a great one, but I think I did the damage to myself, and I'm definitely going to be giving it another go with a group of friends who are into this sort of film. I really love the slipcover design on this from Umbrella, and there is a ton of special features on the disc. There's some audio commentaries, some introductions from the filmmakers, etc. So I think for fans of the movie, this is a great one to have, and I'm excited to revisit it in the right kind of situation. Next, I have Turkey Shoot. This is part of the Ozploitation classic line within the Umbrella's catalogue. And again, it's kind of similar to Miami Connection. This is one of those movies that is perhaps not extremely well critically acclaimed, but it does have a die-hard cult following. It's this weird story about this behaviour modification camp and some of these people who are trapped there who want to escape from the camp. There's a lot of action, a lot of violence, a lot of over-the-top stuff, and I can see why people love this. Again, like with Miami Connection, I watched this on my own after a long day. It wasn't the ideal situation to watch this film. So I implore anyone who is going to be watching these kind of movies, try and watch them with a group of people, or at least be in the right frame of mind to enjoy this kind of film. It just wasn't that kind of viewing for me. But again, like with Miami Connection, I'm going to give it another shot in the future. The disc itself is great. Again, I love the slipcover design, really great design, and tons of special features on here. This was a limited edition version because this includes the original soundtrack CD as well. There's an audio commentary. Oh no, there's multiple commentaries on here, which I haven't gone through yet. And a ton of featurettes and interviews and all sorts. So there's tons on this disc. This next one was such a great watch for me. I'd been wanting to see this film for ages, and I was finally able to watch it on Blu-ray from Umbrella. It's the movie The Last Wave, directed by Peter Weir, who famously made Picnic at Hanging Rock, which is one of my all-time favourite kind of surreal, dreamlike movies. And I love that film, so I was dying to watch this when I'd heard some people compare the two movies. And yes, I had such a great time with this one. This is part of their Sunburnt Screens collection, which is spine numbered. And the Sunburnt Screens line of films is all Australian made movies that I think haven't been given too much love on home media. So there is a bunch of great Australian movies in this line that you can't get on Blu-ray anywhere else in the world. So for any people that are interested in getting these kind of movies, definitely check out Umbrella. That's if you can play the Region B discs, because these are of course region locked, but it's well worth it to import some of these if you have the multi-region player. In the film, we follow Richard Chamberlain's character. He is a lawyer in Australia, and he is tasked with this case to defend these Indigenous Australian men who have committed a murder. He needs to find out what has gone on here, but at the same time, there are some very strange things happening in that part of Australia. There are some very strange things happening with the weather that is sort of signalling an impending doom, like some kind of apocalypse that is coming. He starts to believe that these men that he is defending for this crime are somehow related to what is going on with the weather. So yeah, it's a very mysterious movie, and it really does keep you on your toes. It's a great disc. The film looks really, really good on this Blu-ray. There's some extra special features, some interviews and featurettes, things like that. So I highly recommend people checking out this movie if they can. I think it's quite highly rumoured to be getting a Criterion disc in the US. So that's exciting, especially if there's a 4K disc of this. I would absolutely love that. But for now, because we don't know if that's actually going to happen, it's well worth checking out the Umbrella disc if you can get your hands on it. And the next one that I want to show you is another of the Sunburnt Screens Australian original movies. It's Two Hands. This is starring Heath Ledger and Rose Byrne. Heath Ledger plays this young guy who is trying to find his way in life. He doesn't know what he should be doing. He is given the task by these criminals to deliver some money from one place to another, and he'll get paid for it. But of course, he loses the money, and that's where things start to go south very quickly. So it's a very thrilling movie. It's very funny. It's enjoyable. It's dramatic at parts. It's very well done. And I didn't know about this film at all before I came across this umbrella disc. So I was overjoyed at how good this film is. And it was great to see an early performance from the late Heath Ledger. There's a bunch of special features on the disc as well. It says they're all new for this disc, so there are some interviews with the people involved. So a great film, great extra package on the disc here. I'm very happy to have Two Hands in my collection. If you enjoyed hearing me talk about these umbrella discs that I have just added to my collection, then click the video on screen now. You can get some more boutique Blu-ray recommendations from me to add to your watch list. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.